Hey there guys, welcome back to ARTFX Studios. This is another lead design video. This one was requested, so I'm now actually going to do this one. There's not going to be a tutorial Tuesday today because I didn't really have too much time because I'm working really hard on my new web store, and I'm also working really hard on a new EP, which should be coming out pretty soon. And because of that, I didn't really have much time to work on Tutorial Tuesday track. I'm gonna be working on the track though. I'm gonna be working on it quite a lot, but not right now. I have some more important stuff to do. But I didn't really want to stop making videos, so I tried making this one, and I am remaking the sort of like the part of the track, Your Murmuring Chasms of the latest Spor EP, the intro track. Now, the lead was requested, but, you know, I just decided to recreate a little bit more. It's not 100% the same. There's one particular pad that's missing, which is sort of like the vowel pad that's in the original. I don't have the original sample that they used for it, because I think Spor used a sample to create a pad, but I don't have that sample, so I could have tried to recreate it, but I think this already sounds pretty good, and I'm gonna play you this. It might be quite loud because it starts just, well, at the loudest point of the intro of that track, but I'm gonna play you this in 3, 2, 1. So that's the thing. Now, let me just break it down for you. The first layer is a low pad. This one is made of Serum. You can see there's not any EQing going on. There's just some compression, and I'm going to show you the patch. So the patch is really simple. It's just a saw wave with a sub, also saw wave, 6 voices on the saw, quite some detuning, and I then applied a low pass filter. You can see the amp envelope down here, which does that shape. There's no modulation going on in this entire patch. It's just a plain detuned saw running through that low pass with that attack and release. There's no effects either, so it's just that low saw pad. That is then layered with this top lead. Now that one is the one that was actually requested. It's again a patch in Serum. I'm gonna turn off the effects, and let's take a look at the patch itself. It's again a couple of detuned saws. One is 8 voices and the other one is 6 voices. I'm not completely sure why I did that, but it kind of seems to work. There is some white noise in there, although I don't know. Yeah, so there is a little bit of white noise in there, and I have a macro knob connected to the level of the white noise, but also to the cutoff position of the filter, of the low pass filter. So I'm gonna bring up the macro control. So that's the automation I'm doing with that macro. You can see I'm starting at the upper position, so we're getting a slight amount of noise in there, and it's sort of like low passing when it drops down. So that's the low pass movement that you're hearing. There's a little bit of chorus on there, just to make it a little bit wider. It's already pretty wide because we're using quite some voices, but I decided a little bit of chorus does sound quite good. A little bit of additional filtering, and I haven't even used the low pass at all. It's just at the maximum position, but I'm using this to add some drive, which saturates the sound, gives it a little bit of distortion. And then finally a reverb. Pretty much the default setting, I guess. Looks like it. The amp envelope, quite a long attack and a really long release on this one. I guess that release really helps it. It makes it sound a little bit better. You can definitely hear that in the original, that there's a lot of release on this synth. So that's how it sounded. Now, I found it was a little bit too clean. So I had a little bit of overdrive. Just to give it a bit more distortion. EQ'd it. Took out everything that we don't need. Applied some compression and then applied some limiting to bring the level up. And that layered with the low pad. You can really hear the distortion. It really adds a lot of character to the sound. Then we have a piano. This one is just a Nexus patch, Nexus Grand Piano. Not even gonna bother too much with it. You can see group piano, Nexus Grand Piano, that's the one I used. Turn off the delay and the reverb, because I like to use my own reverbs. Oh well, let me check what scale this is, by the way. I guess it's F minor. Looking at it, I think it's F minor. Might be able to see it right here. Yeah, it's an F minor. So this is written in F minor. Now the next one is the piano. You can see there's quite some processing on the piano itself. Let me turn that all off. So by default, the piano sounds like this. Now, that sounds nothing like the piano in the original. The piano in the original really, it's really compressed a lot. So the first thing I decided to do is add a low-pass filter that builds down. And because this low-pass filter is in front of all the additional effects, the effect of the low-pass is not really that pronounced. A lot of the low-pass filtering that is being applied is actually reduced later on, but it's sort of like, I don't know, it affects the character of the sound when you do it this way. So I have that low-pass filter, and right now it's most likely gonna sound pretty low-passed. Now we can hear. It's getting much more low-passed. Then I decided to add a Valhalla room. You can see reverb mode, large chamber, preset Church of San Lorenzo. I think it's pretty much the default preset, just played with the mix to blend in the amount of reverb. I'm also using reverb on the Sense, by the way, as usual. Same preset right there. And with that reverb, we get a lot more room. But it's still not as big as in the original. So then comes my big old friend OTT. Now OTT is basically just a preset for the multiband compressor in Ableton Live. And OTT stands for over the top. That's what it means. And it basically is the characteristic compression sound that you hear a lot in electronic music these days. Definitely in the more heavier genres. And when you apply that, it is going to bring up the high frequencies that we filtered out. And it's also going to bring up the reverb. So that low pass filter will be much less pronounced right now. Listen. And that reverb really comes forward now. And those hits, the reverb seems to be much longer now than before. But that's just the compression. It's just the upward compression bringing that reverb tail up. Then I applied a whole bunch of EQing. I just made this really weird shape. But that's the shape that sounded correct to me. It took a little bit of time to find that spot, but there's not much low end in this piano. It's really mostly just mids and highs. Then I decided to add some compression. Which really makes it much louder. And then another compressor. Because there's a lot of compression on that piano. So with the original, and you can see the notes if you want. Those are the notes. Then moving down to this layer, I'm not completely sure whether or not this layer is in the original. I added it because it sounded like in the original there's some kind of a layer that sounds like a detuned kind of thing. I didn't know too sure what it was, but I felt this sounded quite correct. Now, you can see what I've done. I have the MB saw, which is in the analog category, right there. And I applied the mirror warping mode and brought it all the way up, so we get that. 8 voices, and that on its own sounds like that. I laid it with a detuned saw. And then I run that through the phaser filter. So you can hear what it does. Again, no modulation on that one. We have some chorus, then we have a compressor set to multiband. Played a little bit with these settings. You can see the gain is brought up quite a lot. Then we have a low pass filter that's actually low passing it a little bit. And then we have a reverb to just widen it up and give it some room. That layered with the top lead, it actually sounds more like a layer that's in the top lead. Listen. Just makes that lead sound a bit wider and more filled out, because this is without and this with. See, it's really much more filled out. And then finally I have a noise layer. That's just a noise sweep downwards. This one's made an operator, set to the white noise. Using the filter, I'm using a low pass filter on this one, and this one is high passed as well. And I think that's about it. So that's just a noise sweep. Then I have of course, the reverb on the send. You can see the values right here. Slight amount of reverb on the low pad, and quite a lot of reverb on all the other stuff. And that together gives you that. So, I've been working on something as well, and this is going to be a new EP that's going to be released on my Bandcamp account. That's going to be pretty fun. It's the first time me doing that, and I'm also going to release it on my own website, I think. Um, I'm working on this EP, and it's going to be pretty fun. But I don't want to show you the whole thing, by the way, because I don't want you guys to grab it off the video and put it online already. You guys have to wait. But I can show you this little thing. So, I've been working on this. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Now, this track is going to be pretty fun. I hope you could hear anything of it. But yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'm going to be doing a lot more videos, but it has to wait for a little moment. I have to do a lot of work on the web store. I have to make sure that the new EP is going to be finished and will be released as soon as possible. But after that, I'm finally going to be able to do a lot more videos. So, that's it for today, and I hope you liked it. See you back soon. Peace.